Welcome to Lesson 1, an intro to PHP. In this tutorial, I will be talking about the basics of PHP, how to get set up, and a couple of extra stuff. So, first of all, you will need PHP, of course, installed on your server. For this tutorial and the next ones, I will be using PHP version 5.2. However, any other version should do just fine. Okay. Now, in case you didn't know, PHP is one of the best languages to use on your website, and it's used by many major companies like Google and Facebook. But let's get started. First of all, you need a file editor. I'm using cPanel in this case. That came with my hosting package. However, any other file manager that can create files, directories, and edit the codes will be acceptable. Now, first of all, we need to create a file. I set aside a directory just for our learning. Let's create it, and we'll call it 1 for lesson1.php. Create new file. And we can also open up our code editor. And we can see that we have nothing in it so far because we didn't write anything. Okay, so now if we open up our directory, we can see that we have this one file. And if we open it, you'll see that we have nothing. Now, that's because we haven't produced anything in it. So to open up our tags or tell our engine that we are now using PHP, we do less than question mark PHP and then question mark greater than. Now there is a shorter form of this, which is just like that, or no, just like that, but you need something called short tags enabled. You can find more on your PHP info, but we're just gonna go like this. Okay, so in order to write something out or print it, we do echo, followed by the string that we want to print. Let's do hello world. We also end our lines with a semicolon, just like any other programming language. If we save our changes, go back to the page and press F5, we will see that we now have hello world. But if we view our source, you can see that it's just hello world. This is because PHP is server side. It doesn't, you will not see it in the source because you don't ever see the PHP. Whenever you call the page, your server will run the PHP and PHP will create an HTML file based on the output. It's basic input and output, basics of programming. Another version of echo is print. However, studies have shown that print is indeed somewhat slower than echo, so echo is the main thing used. You may also see that it does not have a new line, but even though we have a new line here. This is because, of course, it prints out the HTML, so all it really sees is this and this. We can make a new line by putting in our HTML code for new line right here. And of course, you can echo out HTML. Just like that. That concludes our tutorial for today. I'll see you next time. I hope you find this useful, but that is all. Thanks for watching. Welcome to tutorial 2, installing XAMPP on your computer. Now XAMPP is basically a tool that you can install on any OS, or most of them. Pretty sure they have one for Windows, one for Linux, and a few for the other types. But basically what it is it makes it so that you can run Apache, MySQL, and PHP on your computer. This is useful for two purposes. The first is developing. Say that you have this amazing idea, but you don't want to invest the money into a web server yet. You can create your idea and test it all, and see if it works, if you can get it to be fully functional, and then you can set up or buy your server. But also it's to test your scripts if you don't want to waste the space on your web server, even though PHP files are incredibly small. But anyhow, it's just you. Okay, so first of all, you will need to download it. Download it for your OS. I recommend the exe file, or the executable. And once you're done installing, I installed mine on the C drive, it will open up this, and you just choose whatever you want. But once it comes down to the last part, start the XAMPP control panel. I chose yes, and this little panel will pop up. This is where you can run your stuff. And so basically we'll run Apache and we will run MySQL. And from here we have our shell access, setup, port check, explore, CSM or SCM, refresh, help, exit. Explore opens up our file path to the files that we use. And you can like mess around, look around. And htdocs is where we store our stuff, our scripts that we can run on our computer. Now, a lot of people, before they figure out XAMPP, they tend to just save the files to their computer, and they're like, what the heck, it won't run. Now, that's because your computer does not have a PHP compiler built into it. You will need to install one. And personally, I think XAMPP is the best. So now we can, if we go to our local host, just type http://localhost/ and enter, we can see that we come up here. It redirects us to XAMPP, and actually before that you will get something like this. You choose your language. There we go. Now you can see that we have all this stuff. Of course you could use whatever. You can use 127.0.0.1, but I just like localhost. Now from here we can view our status. Just like that. Our security, documentation, components, PHP info. Actually, we should view this. We have PHP version 5.3. It's perfect. Now, let's script. Basically, all we need to do now is open up our HTC docs, and you could write your PHP script right in here, or instance, that one's right there. I have no idea where it leads to. Let's go. It's just a small little redirect thing. But yeah, that's basically how you install XAMPP. That's how you use it. All you need to do is locate your install location and go to htdocs. And from there you can access it by going to your localhost. And very simple, very easy. Thanks, and I hope to see you again.